Hello, everyone. It's really nice to be here. It's such an honor to be as a woman engineer speaking in front of you. I guess I'm the only woman, so thanks for the support. And I can say that I'm 10 years experienced as a Unix administrator, and I have also managed to see. I guess, in Vitaly's presentation, I have also administrated the true 64 systems. So I have a legacy background, and nowadays I'm also having Kubernetes. So I'm going to give you a little bit information about how we started up this Wix project. And first, I want to begin with the workload that we have, like our company slides. So in 2012, in Turkey, there was a firm named Doğuş Group that wanted to do some investment about e-commerce. And they wanted a successful and very experienced partner, which is actually the biggest e-commerce group. It's named as SK Group, so it's a South Korean group. And they have formed an alliance, and they have started e-commerce business in Turkey. And we have a 7/24 available website where we are actually letting our customers see a lot of stores, like thousands of stores and millions of products anytime they want to buy. So my work is actually affecting the money part, but so I need to begin with the transformation challenge that we have. So we had this old monitoring tool like everyone has, and so far a lot of people talked about it. They used a lot of old monitoring tools, and we wanted to really reduce the OPEX, operational costs, and really want to do it the best that we could. So we actually see it as a chance to change things. It's as an option for us to do better. So we wanted to avoid complicated and slow integrations we had with the other tool. I'm not going to mention it, but probably you could guess. And we want to support open source. We want to do ourselves because we knew what we need to monitor. And as a system administrator at my own company, I can see what's being changed at what time, and I really don't need some other ticketing system or something like that. I don't really want to bother with it. So I want to monitor what I really do, and I know the changes happening. And we also wanted to access the data whenever we need, and this is such a great option now we have with the webhooks. I will mention later on. And we need to do a collaboration with other teams as well. Now it's more DevOps oriented, I have to say. The development teams and the operation teams are getting more closer. So you need to be more DevOps oriented. We want to look less dashboards, and we want to combine them all and see an overall dashboard so that we could easily spot the errors and try to have some to fix it, time to fix it. So we also see that Zabbix agents is actually using less CPU, less memory than other engines. So it was really a nice option. And we thought about it, and we said that, okay, we need some skills to do it. It's not really, we can do it by ourselves. We don't have a monitoring group, I have to say it. Like we outsourced the monitoring group, but we challenged ourselves. We said that we should be doing the monitoring stuff. We shouldn't be outsourcing it. So we go with the website. We found many documentation about Zabbix. We really nice such templates that you have, really nice documentation. We wanted to use different protocols, and it is really adaptable in that sense. And we also learned how to write Python scripts. We had such courses, like every team had such information about how to write some scripts and try to create our own items, what we want to monitor. And actually, we don't want to do a lot of stuff whenever something changes. We go with, we don't want to do many changes. We want it to be like automated, and low-level discovery is such affected in that. So we begin to plan our phases, like how we are going to do this change. We just come up with 3 phases. At first, we said that we will do a lot of reading and a lot of research, which also included to design our Zabbix environment. So here you can see. So we have read a lot of about the database systems, how the MySQL should be. And as far as I remember, like yesterday, Julio Cesar also mentioned the best way that we could also find out is the active-passive for the MySQL with Percona cluster we have. And then we also use, I believe, today, let me think, Andy Zo has also mentioned that they use keep-alive-d. We also use keep-alive-d for our Zabbix servers as active and passive. And we have many proxies. As far as we need, it is just a distributed monitoring level, so we could add more proxies, as you know. And for the second phase, we actually look for the integration, what we need to cover up. And we should be doing our scripts, writing our scripts. And it was really nice to have such a community where we have some issue, we could just go and ask. And there's a lot of scripts that are available on GitHub, so it was really nice. And so this is kind of the Python scripts that we have written up. So I can say like we have a lot of data actually in our host names, if I have to say. Like in our host names, we always put some abbreviation for D for tests, Q for QA environment, staging for S, production for P. We have all this information and also the abbreviation for the application itself inside the host names. So we could tag them and we could automatically put them in the host groups. And we also put out some application configuration and to grab those configuration from the applications itself and try to monitor them. So it was kind of the scripts that we have written down. And then afterwards, we decided that we need some compliance because everyone is writing their own scripts. There are a lot of items, unsupported items as well, like a lot of triggers, a lot of alarms, a lot of emails going around. So we said that we need to create more compliant and an optimized environment as well, because we have also seen the housekeeping process isn't really working fine. So we said that we should be doing the partitioning, and we try to look out for our roadmap. And now that I'm going to show you the Zabbix server statistics, like it's not really very cool, like 65,000, but it is around 1,000. We just wanted to monitor whatever we wanted to monitor. Like we just, deleted all the unnecessary items. Because whenever we add a switch, 1,000 of ports are being added up with their speeds, with their lengths. You could relate to that. So we wanted to put a filter at first, and we don't have that many items. And our trigger is actually close to our number of items, because this is what we really need to be concerned about. And then, because we didn't have webhooks at that moment, we are using long-term support for. So we have Grafana in front of our Zabbix servers, which is a great monitoring tool, a dashboard tool actually. We have added Zabbix as a data source to Grafana, and then we have graphics from the Grafana, and we make it talk with the Hubot. It's a bot service. So within a Slack channel, I could just write whatever graph I need, but this all data is actually stored in Zabbix. So I could just type in, our bot name is Jarvis, it's some about Iron Man, whatever, but it's Jarvis, like graph DB, put my storage reduction rates, I can say like check my data domain, this backup system. So I could check all this stuff, I could check the alarms itself from the Slack channel, and it is also available to our developers as well who is using Slack channel. So this is really great that we have it. And I will continue to mention how we did the process. So, when we started this project, actually, the company didn't stop the investments at all. They continued on their investment. They bought new tools because they really want to have a better system, a new system with more performance. So there were many other reporting and dashboards coming up and with new systems. So we also need to monitor the new systems as well, along with the old ones. So as we started 2012, we have all these legacy equipment that we have. It's like hardware equipment that we have. You can see on the left. And on the right, it is our software inventory, actually, what we have. So we have all this stuff, I have to say. And now we are starting up with Kubernetes, so we are using OpenShift. We are trying to adapt our environment to cloud-ready. So it is kind of the transformation that I guess most of the companies are in. So is there anyone that has been to KubeCon Barcelona this year? Probably no one. Okay, maybe I'm the only one. So we are in such transition so that we are actually trying to be more cloud-ready and try to have more Kubernetes with our OpenShift installations. So we have all this stuff, and we monitor them by SNMP. It is kind of painful, as everyone said, and this is going on. So, as I said, we use active passive Zabbix server with keep LID configuration. We have used Bitbucket as our Git repository for our scripts. As we have written many scripts we want to use in our environment, and we made an NFS share between the Zabbix service, so we could be like keeping up both them alive. Whenever we switch over, it works fine. And we have written some scripts, like everyone has, some auto-installation scripts, some reconfiguration scripts. And as we use Red Hat, there's a repo management tool named Satellite. So we have integrated the Satellite option for the repo management. And we have written scripts for the services as well. And we have also used some scripts that is already being written by the community. And as I said, we have done some adaptation with the DevOps culture with Slackbot. We have the reports whenever we deploy a new code, and we can see the effects, what has been changed. Like the developers can also write and see what has changed, what's their code actually resulted in the production environment. So it's more like a DevOps cultural way that we try to achieve. And for the legacy equipment, I have to say that we had many troubles with SNMP3 capability. It is more secure, but it is in some equipment it's not really supported. And every hardware is actually having some OID differences. Even if there's some of the templates that is written by the community, whenever we look at it, we have seen the OIDs being changed by just a new firmware level. So we need to keep up with it. We need to look after a lot of stuff. And we use low-level discovery wherever we can. And there was a web scenario that like each server you can add. We looked for the HTTP codes. We have done some form post and get results. So it was kind of a synthetic test for the websites, if you could access them or not. We have learned a lot of stuff because we have done many false positive tests. We want to be sure that we monitor the right things. So this is what we have done. And we have learned the lessons, we have planned tests, we have done checkings, we have reported them. We try to see if the actions are really defined well. So I actually came here to thank you all. That's my last slide. So I really want to thank the Zabbix team for the great documentation you have, because I could find anything I need in the documentation. It is really important to have such documentation for an application. So I really thank you for that. I really want to thank the Zabbix forum users, because I asked too many questions. And there is a lot of people in the forum just replied back to me. And I feel like we are like a family, you know. It's like to have such support from the community is really great. And then we thought that we should be preparing some channel up for the Turkish-speaking community. So we opened up a Slack channel. So it has now 40 members and it's growing up. Sometimes we ask some questions there in Turkish, and we could have some locals. I shouldn't say like a support, but it's like also a community, like a forum. And I really want to thank the GitHub users. I have used your code. If you're here, thank you. And really thank you for the Grafana Zabbix plugin so that we could use webhooks and allow the developers to look at how the systems are changed. So thank you for listening me up. Thank you.